Dare to defy. Hey guys, welcome back to SourceFedNERD. This is Superhero Smackdown, and today we have a very special guest on our show, Jason Edmond from DC.
Nice.
I also pointed out.
I thought it was Maddie Lieberman.
Yeah, Matt Lieberman, everybody.
Guys,
from Nuclear
I'm
Family.
From last week.
Oh, you did leave abruptly last week.
Yes,
you traveled
I did.
through time to
He's
get
fine.
here.
Look, he made it.
Everything's fine. We fixed it.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This is the show where we talk about all the superhero shows that are on the air this week, and then we fight for them. Who's going to win the week? You guys get to vote with the link in the top of the description. Make sure you click that. You go and vote. Then at the very end, somebody here gets a prize, and everybody else gets something bad.
Is it love?
It's love.
And cold.
That's the bad thing. We
And
lose.
maybe Nerf related.
Oh no, most things
You didn't warn me about
Most
that.
things are in life. But Jason, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me. I love getting to talk nerd, the SourceFedNERD.
Yeah.
Yay.
But I hear you've been planning something over on your channel.
I have been
a
planning
busy
something.
boy.
The entire month of November, guys, I've been running a comic drive for soldiers because I'm a veteran myself.
It's a
and
great idea.
In a care package, I once got a comic book, and it was one of the best care packages I ever got. So right now, I've teamed with Operation Gratitude, and until November 30th, we are collecting as many comic books as we can to try to hit our 20,000 comic book goal.
That's amazing.
We're right
That's
now at
really
13,000, so we
Wow.
need all of your help out there to push it past the goal. Let's get some comic books for some soldiers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
hell
I
yeah.
expect all of you here.
Dude, I have comic books out in my car.
7,000?
Just give them.
Not 7,000.
Give 7,000 comic
I was
books?
like 12.
So, yeah,
Not
yeah,
DJ.
Yeah, so all
I'm
the,
not
info-
DJ.
all the information is on my Twitter, or I have a link on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jawan. There's a video right there, and you guys can help. All the information's there. It's very simple. Give some comic books out.
Also
Yeah.
super easy.
Where were you? Where
My
did
chair
you
just
serve?
broke.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's all good. I'll make it work.
What did you read?
What's that?
What was in that care package?
In the care package was Ultimate X-Men.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
And then it was the Superman, I believe it was the Sacrifice. It was the lead up to Infinite Crisis where Superman started getting controlled by Maxwell Lord and started punching Batman.
Cool.
Solid reads.
Nice.
Yeah.
Solid
Very
reads. Good
cool.
escapism.
But guys, I actually put a link to the channel, to the video that you made on your channel explaining everything. It's in the description down below. Go click that. Go donate. It's for a good cause. Be good boys and girls. I love everybody. But let's get started. Jason Edmond, he's right there on Twitter. You can go ahead and click that. But also joining us, we have Phil and Molina.
Oh,
hello. From SourceFedNERD. And then we have Matt Lieberman.
Bang, bing, bong.
And then Sam. He's over there. He's over on this side.
That
There you go. He's over here. All right, but to kick it off, let's start talking about shows. We'll go through the week with Supergirl.
Oh,
Great.
Why
yes.
is Supergirl the show of the week? Hit us.
Guys, I mean, I don't really have to argue for it, right? It was really obvious. Supergirl.
Guess what?
Okay. I will.
You have to.
Okay. How about this? Supergirl is having the best month, I'll even say, of all the shows, and it's all carried on the back of the Alex Danvers storyline. They're surprisingly nailing that. Like, they have no business treating this issue of Alex coming out as sensitively and carefully as they are, and yet I'll say half of that is just on the actress alone. She's
doing an amazing job.
She's doing an amazing job. I remember her from Not Another Teen Movie as my first experience to her. She has glasses and a ponytail, unrecognizable. But now she's really killing it, and on all the shows that are about such ridiculous things, it's the most like realistic portrayal I've seen on any show of just like, yes, feels like someone is considering coming out, and it's awkward, and when you come out, it's not even done well, like, and she stumbles, and then Kara's like, ugh, and it's like, oh, I didn't mean to be like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, they are nailing not only the storyline, but it actually made me feel a lot more like, oh yeah, these two are sisters. And that's maybe one of the best relationships on the show is Alex and Kara, so any week that has that is great. This also was the first time we saw James finally step up, you know, as he's been wanting to for like a very short amount of time.
Forever, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
For his entire life, Sam.
Here's what I'm going to give you,
There he
though.
is,
So James
speaking
steps
up.
up, he becomes Guardian, and he's been desperate to do
He looks
it.
like Cyclops.
And
yeah.
so here's what I'm going to give you with James. Yeah, I'll flat out admit, like, oh, this feels abrupt. But he had a little bit of a monologue he gave this episode that is like, oh, damn, that does make sense. Okay, consider James Olsen. Sure, we barely know him. He's only been a love interest, and then suddenly is running Catco for some reason,
Yeah.
and then wants to be a hero, and that sounds abrupt, but he explained it to us this episode. He's like, no, I used to be Jimmy Olsen, and I've been exposed to this for way longer than any of you guys have. And my guy was Superman.
Wait, which is more unbelievable? The photographer for the company being chosen to be the CEO, or the random assistant that is now one of the lead journalists?
Hold on. No, he wasn't a photographer. He was like the editor.
He was an
like
editor.
layout
Right,
editor.
when he changed his name to James, they're like, now we can finally give you real time.
Oh, it's because the name change.
He's a
But
man
seriously,
now.
if you think about it, he's like the most famous, one of the most famous sidekicks in all of comics. And it's like, okay, give him that history, and it's like, damn, I feel useless. You know? And so he probably has felt that way in the non-existent Superman show that we never saw. So they justified it a lot better. And then I'm gonna say Mon-El still charms the hell out of me.
Yeah.
That guy is I mean, maybe it's just the
Got
actor.
a lot of charisma.
But you should hate him, and I think they're nailing like
I think you have a little crush.
a little bit. I think it's what Kara is feeling, where it's like, oh, you damn Daxamite, and you're charmed. Like, it's like, why are you charming? I should hate you. But really, it is just about multiple people. So the episode was called Changing, and multiple people changing and adapting and discovering who they are with James and Mon-El and Alex.
And
Pink
Boy. Pink Boy.
Oh, right. In Parasite.
Oh.
In Parasite. But I'll talk more about Parasite in the action.
Rudy Jones.
Rudy
I'll-
Jones.
I'll also throw out really quick that this had the White Martian issue almost bubble up into the forefront.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
Right.
Oh, what happened this episode?
Right, big story episode, but with John. And here's what I loved about it. It's one of these secrets that happens on all these CW shows. There's like, ooh, the secret of this show. And all of them tend to be really lame and frustrating, except for this one, because it's like, yeah, she's a race. Like, they're like, I don't want to say Nazis, but like the most hated combination of races here.
Not great.
It's a good secret to keep. And then instead of having a dramatic reason to like have to deal with it, it's like, yeah, they have to, overly dramatic.
Yeah.
They have to save his life, and it kind of logically was like, yeah, this is a real tough situation to put her in. We need Martian blood. There isn't any other Martian blood.
And it's a tough place to put Jean in, because when he finds out, like, to grapple with the fact that he is now part White Martian, essentially, is really going to mess him up.
Well, and I think physically is also too. So I'm just going to say that they're just
Got tremors.
balancing. He's got the tremors. So they're just balancing a lot of things on this show better than any of the other shows are this month.
Oh. I kind of agree, but I'm going to fuck Legends of tomorrow. But what happened next in Flash during the week?
So first, I want you all to click on that link in the description. I want you to click on the words "The Flash." Vote, because The Flash
Turn off your
easily won
computer.
the week. Here's the thing: we've gotten to the point in the season, and every season has this, where we've finished our opening arc. Like, we finished the first arc of the season, and we've now changed directions, and we can see the varying levels of quality start to change. And this is the point in The Flash Season 3 where the quality is just going to go way up.
And you mean, so this is the starting point?
It's the starting point
Yeah, all right,
of the
all right.
quality continuing to increase. Because here's the thing. The episode's called Shade, all right? And if you were looking for just some big, epic episode about the villain Shade, yeah, you're disappointed. But here's the thing. The Flash has bigger ambitions on its mind than the villains of the week. It's gone past that. It's about the characters.
So that's why they don't matter.
Yeah.
They don't matter.
Superseded.
But here,
There he is.
yeah, there he is.
The smoke monster.
I don't care. But that's the thing, is like, as a fan of the show, I don't care about that guy. I don't care about the villain of the week generally, unless they've got a compelling story of their own and why they're being a villain. Like, Magenta's story was compelling. But in this case, we have Caitlin's story and we have Wally's story, which are both really, really compelling.
Yeah, I will say it's probably the best acting I've seen come out of Wally.
Easily.
For like the
Or the only acting.
Oh,
I think Wally's been doing pretty good.
he's been doing great.
They're giving him the best that he's ever had, but it's Iris syndrome, I think.
Look, and can we talk about how awesome Iris was in this episode? She
They're bringing it
punched
back.
him out. She ducked his punch and knocked him in the face. Okay, like, Iris's about face this season has been top notch, and I feel like this is just the latest evolution of that. I think that we knew that this stuff with Wally was coming, right? We knew it was going to play out in some way. We knew there would be an illness. We knew that he would want to go to alchemy. We thought it would be some kind of cover-up dragged out for several episodes. No. Instead, the Flash is learning from its mistakes. It's streamlining these moments into single episode moments that are working with the entire team. Everyone's playing at the top of their intelligence. There's no, like, stupid I'm going to hold on to this secret for 5 episodes because I don't want to tell anybody. Stuff comes out, and they deal with it.
I like how quick it is, because Cisco figures it out, vibes her, okay, I'll tell you. I'm going to tell everybody.
But
It's like,
here's the thing. Also, echoing some of the themes from Supergirl, if things had gone differently with Alex coming out. Like, it was not Cisco's right to out Caitlin as a meta.
Very true.
So we're talking about socio-political commentary. We've got great effects. We've got good action.
That's what I come to the Flash for. Socio-political
I'm
commentary.
just saying, the show is a lot smarter
Where
this
are we
year.
as a-
It's
in
a
the
lot
world?
smarter than it's been in the
Where are
past.
we as a smoke monster?
Right. He's not a smoke monster. He vibrates super fast or something.
And it
That
makes
makes more sense.
shadows.
He left the island and now he's in Central City.
It's perfect. But we're moving stuff along. We've got this relationship between Joe and the lady who's also got a child.
Cecile? I think it's Cecile. Okay,
Yeah, we got a date night there with
Date night.
HG.
With
HR.
HR,
Yeah.
who's the gag with the face maker was really fun.
I'll give you a plus with this. HR's macking game, 100%.
100%.
I mean, to be fair, Joe was like,
yeah.
oh, like every
Yeah.
time he talked to her, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
she's coming on to you so strong.
Joe's like, I was on Law and Order once.
Yeah. Have you heard me sing?
Right. So we got that going on. And then also we get to have a face-to-face between Flash and Alchemy. It's a different kind of threat. Yeah. And for some reason the Flash he just can't get up because he's getting blasted too many times. Right in the emblem. And then,
Yeah, that hurts.
and then shocker of all shockers, Alchemy's not the villain of this season. It's Savitar, a.k.a. the monster Megatron or the monsters from Battleship. The monsters from Battleship. But way fast, way scary. I thought the reveal was really cool. I completely forgot that Savitar was a thing that was potentially happening this season, so I was genuinely surprised.
It is cool. The reveal was really fun that no one can see him, and so
Right.
Barry's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Or people from the Speed Force can only see him. It kind of seems like that. Yeah.
Well, it does set him apart, finally, because we do every episode go is it just another speedster?
But
Another
here's the
speedster,
thing,
another
he's
speedster?
not just another speedster.
Yeah.
And I'm
Al,
no,
you drunk
he's-
bastard.
No,
Yeah.
he's not just another
No, I'm saying
speedster.
he is the god.
He's the god of speed,
Sters.
first of all. God of speed, and he's got a cult that follows him. The thing that makes
Like
Savitar
God.
more threatening to me is that unlike Zoom, who threatens these metas with death to come fight the Flash, instead he's got people who are willing to die for him because they believe in him that badly. Alchemy is just one of those people. So to think that there are more people in that cult worldwide makes Savitar a really interesting and compelling
Let me
threat.
ask you this question, though. Do you think the end of the season is just going to be Barry has to figure out another way to run faster?
No.
Then a god.
No. I don't think that
Than
it's
speed
that.
itself.
Hopefully not.
Just a concept.
The show has done enough to
I got to go into Grant Morrison Heights and figure out how to run faster.
the show has done enough to increase its intelligence this year that I have to believe that it's not just another fucking race.
Think about this.
Well, last year was a hamster wheel.
He has a hamster.
You're right. I'm so
100
sorry.
spins.
After the first season was a donut.
Yep. Hamster wheel.
Hamster wheel,
Put them
donut.
together, you got a
Now,
pretzel.
now we got a Z-axis, and it's like a tilt-a-whirl.
Who can run serpentine faster?
Crazy shit's happening. But no, I'll give you a few of those points.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the
Oh, yeah, you like
criticisms...
I
A lot
like
of the
it.
criticisms that are being leveled at this episode are pretty unfounded.
Guys, do you agree? Tell us with your votes. Hit us up in the comments
I
section.
read a headline that said, worst episode ever.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Take points away from Supergirl. Give it to the Flash.
Right.
Flash.
Right.
All right.
Somebody's being a
The
little
two meta
jerky.
shows happened. Hit us with Arrow because I was a fan of it. That's why I was better, but tell us about Arrow.
Okay, I'm going to give you the reason why Arrow was the winner of the week, all right? The granddaddy that started this whole universe. And when Arrow works is when Arrow is all about a metaphor for itself. Now, a lot of people out there are like, Vigilante, I didn't like Vigilante. Let me throw you out there, okay? Vigilante, Marv Wolfman, classic DC comic character.
Pretty cool.
The costume looked exactly like the comic books. And his voice, if you know anything about Adrian Chase in the comic books, Adrian Chase is an asshole.
Yeah.
He thinks other heroes out there suck, and he hates them all, so he tries to always kill them. It's happened several times. He did it to Nightwing once. But the reason why Adrian Chase works so well in this episode is because he is where Oliver was going to go at the beginning of the season. When Oliver started out this season, he's like, I'm just going to kill everybody. That is what we were seeing with Vigilante. So now they are personifying that with Vigilante. That's the reason why I think this episode was so strong. It even manifested itself with the recruits being like, well, hey, why don't we just let him kill the gangsters? And Oliver's like, we literally had this fight last episode, guys.
This is like 6 days ago.
I do like that commentary immediately. What?
It was so meta, and that's the reason why I loved it. And also, like, Arrow stepped up his game in this episode by introducing a couple new trick arrows that we haven't seen. This bullet net arrow.
That was pretty useful.
Like again, all these shows are kind of silly and stupid, but like the anytime that these shows can lean into that and lean into the comic book goodness, I think is great. And also, my show has the trump card that your show doesn't have, and that's Dolph Lundgren.
Ooh, there's the
Dolph
beautiful
Lundgren. Okay, the flashbacks are back, and they actually matter, and they're threatening. The problem with the last 2 seasons of Arrow has been that the flashbacks kind of didn't matter. Like, we didn't care about them, because we knew that he was just going to get to the island. It doesn't matter. This season, I don't know how, but they're really giving you an idea of that. Oliver could actually die in these flashbacks, even though we know he's not going to.
I thought he was pretty threatening
Well,
in this episode.
There was a moment where there were like 2 guns like here, and he had like a knife, and it's like you could just both blow.
Yeah,
his brains out.
exactly. Like, you have to stretch it a little bit, but they're building up the threat a lot, and also Dolph Lundgren. Watch that fight scene with him and Arrow. That's the key of Arrow. Arrow has always been about the stunts and the fights, and we're going to punch you. There are shots in that fight where it's Dolph Lundgren. It's literally Dolph Lundgren beating the crap out of Stephen Amell. It's not a stuntman, and you can tell, because Dolph Lundgren is magic. All right? He is magic in this. And again, the flashbacks again are making Arrow a better show, just like they did in the very beginning, because the flashbacks are always used well when they are used as a different lens for the regular show, because he's showing that Oliver can't trust the Brodfa. Okay? So now it's going back to, as we learned in the big reveal at the end of the Arrow episode, Artemis is working for Prometheus. So we're personifying that he can't trust anybody. Oh, you knew that team was going to betray him. Come on. Who didn't see that coming?
Also, she's not been doing anything.
I know.
I have a lot to say about Artemis in this episode. And Dolph Lundgren.
But anyways, Arrow's getting back to the darkness of the show, personifying the emotions of the scene, which is always the element that made me like Arrow more than, say, like a Smallville or more so than like some seasons of The Flash, like last season of The Flash. I'm sorry, I'm throwing it out there.
I think Dolph Lundgren is I'm really happy with how much like fun he's having, like chewing up those scenes, and I'm like, I didn't expect it. I thought he'd kind of do that phone-in thing where it's like, I'm intimidating, I have a little bit of an accent or whatever. The only thing I'm going to throw at him is, man, you can't keep up that accent while you're eating. Well, whenever he was eating, he was kind of just, it was like normal English, and then like Russian, English.
Yeah, but the other advantage, like we were talking about a little bit earlier too as well with The Flash, you were talking about the throwaway villains. You don't care about the throwaway villains. On Arrow, this is not a throwaway villain. Vigilante is here to stay. He's going to be around. He's going to be a plotline that they have to deal with. I'm predicting that he's going to be a plotline that they're going to have to convince him to help them against Prometheus. And again, as well, like I'm very intrigued, more so than I ever was with Zoom, about who the hell is Prometheus, because I'm pretty certain that Prometheus is going to have a big connect to season 1. And I don't know, and I have a couple theories about it, and we can talk about it later, whatever.
Sure.
But Arrow's getting back to being dark, gritty, and a mirror for Oliver, and that's where the strength of the show was, and that's why this Vigilante episode was great, because Vigilante was what Oliver could have become.
That's why season 2 worked the best.
Yes.
The flashbacks really built up the main storyline that was happening. I liked it a lot. I like the Vigilante's not gone. I like him better than Anarchy being a reoccurring villain.
Oh, yeah, Anarchy was
Let him
Anarchy was
die.
terrible.
No, he was. He's still around. He's still running around being burned.
He's up to die. It's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe Vigilante will kill Anarchy, and then the show will get even better.
Or Vigilante will take on Prometheus, and Vigilante will die, and then we're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then
also,
Anarchy puts on the Vigilante mask, and he's the new Vigilante.
And then Ragman puts on. Wait.
And then also, let's not forget, in this episode, we had a great performance by David Ramsey dealing with the fact that he can't be there on his son. Now, I have never seen a man in a van act so well. Usually vans stop you.
I'm sorry.
All
That plot line too, we have a lot to talk about.
All right,
when we
sure.
come to weaknesses.
But let's look at Arrow for a little bit and give him a little props about having 3 men of color go against a white man in a gun store. Think about that. None of the other shows would have ever touched
Is that socio-political commentary?
It is sociopolitical. But I don't know. And then, like, come on,
The reason we watch
right.
all of these shows.
And then also, let's put another. Let's
read
put a little
the book.
cherry on top here. Cutest character of the week, John Diggle Jr.
He was
Kid
pretty
that
cute.
did not like his dad the most of the week. John Nickel Jr.
He was like, "You're
he was
sweaty.
like leaning away.
You're sweaty."
And I heard it as, "You're shitty.
Yeah, you're shitty. That's what I heard.
You'll never be as good as Oliver."
I'm not supposed
girl.
to exist.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you got Arrow. Arrow's pretty good, but wait a minute. I think I had the time travel show this week, so trump card, I already win. Anyways, we'll
We
go
need to
with
stop
that.
using trump
Trump
cards.
card.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Wins when you don't
We'll make a
expect it
new-
to.
It's
Trump card.
the president-elect Trump
Ooh,
card.
president card.
And then
President-elect card.
then it'll change
Yeah,
throughout the year.
yeah.
But anyways, this season, this episode, we revisited the West. We got Jonah Hex back again, who I have a picture of, who's popping up on screen right there.
Oh!
Jonathan
Damn,
Scheck.
Daniel.
There he
Back at it
is.
again.
Also, I figured out why there are the ties on the hat. They make the hat tighter. Anyways, that's that is a.
It's like a shoe. Put your hat.
That is,
Guys, vote for Legends tomorrow. You'll learn why that hat is in the
Socio-political commentary.
right there. Sometimes the hat doesn't fit the head.
But I do want to say one of my favorite actors from Lost that didn't get enough airtime, I believe, on the
Jeff
show.
Fahey?
Yes, he's
Yes,
back.
Jeff Fahey.
And he was Turnbull, who was awesome. I love
Yep.
old Western stories, so it was fun to have Jonah Hex back and an actually intimidating Western storyline. It's a little bit different from like you had the sci-fi concept with the Confederates and everything, but now it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
no, he's got a pistol that can just blow a hole through a train, which is amazing. And now we're going to have an Atom suit back soon. Hopefully they update it and make it like a fun new thing, but whatever. Our main story, we had Vixen and Heatwave teaming up. We had, once again, Ray and Nate.
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 Nate. Yeah.
Not
Nate
but
Holloway.
His name is Nick, but he's Nate.
Right.
Nate.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
Or
teaming
Nick
Nick
up.
Zano, Nate
Nick
Holloway.
Zano.
And
Nick
Jonah-
Zano, Nate Holloway.
And Jonah and Sarah teaming up. So Jonah and Sarah got to he got to be a little sexism. Got a
we're
win there.
Socio-political commentary.
There we go.
Right there.
So if you're not into
Very
that,
important.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
Although it obviously had socio-political issues.
Very important comment, though. Peach asks, but does Legends have Ragnar?
No, we have
Ooh.
Steel and a brand new costume for Steel.
Well, to be fair, he drew it himself. He didn't go to a designer.
Ray obviously could not tell anything
Yeah.
about the
This new
design.
costume, a.k.a. shrinking the effects budget, a.k.a.
Plastic Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
It'll be
Yeah,
you're
shiny
right.
from
Yeah.
here to
All
here.
this negativity means more points for Legends. Am I right,
No.
guys? But anyways, our story followed
flag.
just a fun, kind of reminiscent to Wild Wild West, the movie, where they wanted to separate the
Oh,
states up
yeah,
again.
yeah. Movie.
And favorite movie, right? Best
Yeah.
Kevin Kline
Top
movie.
10 movies
And they
of
wanted
all
to
time.
separate the United States from east to west,
Yeah.
and they wanted to do it using magical gun explosions. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
So we, woo, yeah.
Yeah.
There's another.
Is that it?
Because I'm going to be honest, nothing
Nate,
happened.
Steel Nate,
The
Desperado.
one of the only things that really is going to carry on for the rest of the season that I'm very
Headaches.
excited to see pay off is that Stein headaches is that Stein
Oh,
somehow
yeah.
altered his timeline and now it's just gradually going to change it. So we might get a character evolving throughout the season, and we always get that. We see character growth, but with this, we might actually get like an evil Stein, like a Frankenstein.
evil
Interesting.
Stein.
A Frankenstein.
Steam.
Frankenstein. Frankenstein.
And for some reason, we're still keeping that secret about Barry, and we're not going to talk about it, but we'll get there soon.
James B says Steel's costume is way better than the Rivals.
Whoa!
That's
Come on.
No, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
fine with
Yeah,
that.
I think
Hawkman dipped in
I think
tar.
everyone agrees with you.
It is Hawkman.
Yeah, if tar and feather
Yeah,
are the worst
it
things.
is.
Just in the wrong order.
Hey, recycling. That's the thing we're going to take
It's
away.
how it's called budgeting for television.
Man, I feel legitimately, I feel so bad for Legends of Tomorrow, where they just received their budget like one week, and they were like, "This is for one person? No, it's for everyone."
It's for everyone.
Oh no!
Man.
God.
And with that,
No firestorm in this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
But with this, we still get compelling storylines. They deal with really important social, political
Socio-political.
commentary.
So name one of those important storylines.
When they talked about slavery that last time,
That wasn't this episode. We're just talking about this.
did they
week.
not talk about it again?
No.
They
Not at
didn't
all.
acknowledge it at all.
Jax
actually.
was able to just walk around fine.
Fine.
I mean, it wasn't the 1870s.
Oh no, we got.
Amaya,
Yeah,
Ready?
or was it 1830s?
Here it goes.
It was 1870s.
Okay,
Yeah,
so 10
that's
years
after.
after.
This is what we get. Ready? We get badass tax collectors. All right, go ahead and fight me on that.
Politics, there you go.
Al
Yeah.
Capone, the IRS.
I mean, I will give you that there's a Jonah Hex has some of the best lines of the week in this episode. Although he doesn't have much to do in the storyline. Like I loved the one point where they were talking about the dwarf matter, and he literally was like, "What is this, magic?" Like he didn't know what to call it. He's like the magic, like dwarf matter, like magic. Yeah.
There was a comment that already went off the screen. That was no. It was basically Stein. Stein convinced himself to love. There we go. Hamza Shafiq says Stein convinced himself to love his wife more. Odds are it's his daughter.
Oh. I predicted
That's like a
that's his
good
daughter
fake
too.
out.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be good.
That'd be real.
More points to
Good
Legend of
fake
Tomorrow.
out,
Yeah.
especially also because then Jax is gonna
Yeah,
get with his
yeah.
daughter.
Whoa!
And it's gonna be real creepy.
Whole other kind of firestorm.
But then when they get inside, oh man, that's gonna be problems for Martin.
That's
Yeah.
an insult.
Oh, because they've established he feels what he feels.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
And then when he gets inside his head, he can see memories. This is gonna get weird,
I
and it's gonna be
wanna
really
know
socio-political commentary. Real,
Yes, really.
real socio-political.
Yeah, finally one of these shows is gonna break down incest in a really, really
Tasteful.
sensitive,
You know,
tasteful
that's
way.
something I've been wanting from the
They're gonna
CW for
handle
years.
it really well.
Hey, I like when
Alright.
they borrowed that really sad story from
All
the
right.
Patriot, the church being burned up.
All right, we're gonna
man.
double check where we're at poll wise. So guys, cover your eyes.
Oh.
There we go. And our score is coming in quick.
Very
Coming in
slowly.
hot.
Coming in hot.
Coming in piping
You already
hot.
have it.
It's no, this is the old one.
Oh.
That's the old one.
But don't worry, guys. We're building.
That's
we're
the old
building
one.
suspense.
Building
Oh,
suspense.
Building suspense.
Building that
Building
suspense.
suspense.
And here it's coming.
Lots of suspense.
And it's coming fast.
You can taste the difference.
There it
There
is.
you go.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Supergirl.
Damn!
Arrow. Flash. Legends of Tomorrow at the bottom. What are you talking about?
Whoa.
What are you talking about? Okay, fine.
All right, we're gonna have a chat.
Come on, guys.
We're gonna have a chat.
Oh, this was in the order. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right. Now we're getting on to action and epic moment. Who had the best action of the week, and who had like the epic moment that just made the episode the best of the week?
All of that. So Supergirl is so jam packed that I didn't even talk about the action this week when I was talking about the story.
You weren't even in the Old West.
The Parasite storyline. So a critique we'll give to Supergirl is that they borrow Superman villains to be her most worthy threats, but that's because Kryptonians, it's like impossible to have good villains for them. Not impossible, but there's very few that I feel satisfied. Like, yeah, that's a legitimate threat, and Parasite's always been a great idea for a villain. Mm-hmm. So I'm totally glad that they brought Parasite over, and this is the best Parasite design I've ever had. This is a terrifying monster with a little alien other
And
mouths
its teeth
and stuff.
go all the way up through its jaw. I
It was
really like
terrifying.
Parasite.
That's one of the best character designs they've had on any of these shows. But
There's the budget.
it's carried over to the CBS budget.
No more Martin Manhunter.
Oh, Martin.
Oh, Martin. Do you notice how he was only in Martin mode when he wasn't moving?
Yeah.
Like in the back half of the
Yeah.
episode?
Oh yeah. They did that with Steel too. So we had the fight with him, which was obviously like the main fight. I think it's a little bit more exciting to see Guardian for the first time, kind of just like suited up. And catching that car for that little girl, you kind of always got to have your save the cat moment to make us think yeah, this guy deserves to be a hero.
I mean, Monel, right? The Guardian didn't catch.
Oh,
the
you're
car.
right.
Yeah,
Monel did.
Monel.
Guardian,
Yeah.
but Guardian showing up was like a cool.
Yeah, they were
moment,
trying to
and
do the
Monel had
Action
that.
Comics 1 kind of thing. Even
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Did he have that?
Yeah,
got the pivot.
he was tilted up
He
in
got
the
the
push
pivot.
there. Yeah.
He got the pivot.
They were aping Action Comics.
Yeah. So I actually will say it had its action scene. It was fine. It had a really good villain, one of the better villains, and yet I mostly cared about the story of this episode. So I'm not gonna say it was the epic one. Mm-hmm. I think other shows might have had it in the epicness this week.
Hey,
I don't think it matters.
I loved that it had a very The Thing-esque storyline in the beginning. That was a really
So
good
that was
way
straight
of-
up
yeah.
The Thing.
It was
Yeah.
awesome. It was
Yeah.
actually very scary because I was like, why is the wolf form?
Yeah.
Why is it?
Yeah.
No, that
I
was-
actually
that
thought
was
the wolf was going to
terrifying.
be the Parasite.
That
And
was
I was
cool.
like, how is this going to connect? I don't know.
Yeah, Crypto? No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, maybe that's crypto.
5,000-year-old crypto.
Yeah.
Yay!
The whole stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
It looked just like the X-Files episode that was parodied.
It did.
The Thing.
Well, it's hard
It's
not to look exactly like the Thing
when you're just doing the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch the Thing, by the way.
No, seriously. Yeah.
Never
Worth
seen
watching.
it.
The John Carpenter original, not the remake one that's called also The Thing.
That
Yeah,
that's
and not the
complicated
Thing
'cause
from
it's
another
very cool.
planet,
So,
yeah,
which
but it's called The Thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing was a remake of.
There's
Yes.
a couple things you need to watch, but Flash.
Matt, for
Thing.
instance.
Oh, The Flash? You mean the show with Savitar the God of Speed?
Here he comes.
Oh!
There he is.
Listen, people are like downplaying the action in this episode, but I thought it was awesome. I really enjoyed the Flash versus Shade fight. Okay, I liked that Shade was just quickly moving in and out of different environments and popping up and slamming him. Alchemy versus Flash. Alchemy versus Flash was cool. Alchemy, for whatever reason, he shouldn't be intimidating. He's just a dude with a bird mask and a couple of goggles, but still intimidating. And then when Savitar came in, moving as fast as he was, I was like jaw drop. Like breath like caught in my chest, and then just the sheer size of him, the look of him, I was not expecting at all, because Savitar looks like a big dummy in the comics.
Oh yeah, the costume in the comics is terrible.
He looks so stupid in the comics that he showed up looking like that. I was like, dude, dope, instant.
If
like
I don't
win.
get the shirtless one, I'm quitting. I won't watch the
Maybe
Flash.
that's
you want the
what
guy in the bad yellow mask?
Yeah, I want the yellow mask. I want the little bit of stubble coming out, and the really dingy curly hair that goes all the way down to his lower
So then here's
back.
what we're gonna do, Sam. We're gonna spend the next 10 episodes figuring out how to break down his armor, and then when we do that, and it involves running really, really fast, really fast. On the inside, he's going to look just like that. He's going to be played by a wrestler. Which one? We don't know yet, but it will be one.
Maybe the Edge again.
Maybe the Edge.
Maybe the Edge
Ooh,
again.
okay.
I would say that I would like to see if his suit is made out of the Speed Force, like what Wally can do in the comics.
Interesting.
It'd be cool if Barry could learn how to do that and make his costume out of that.
I don't think special
Or
effects
at
are
least
make him just.
How about just a null inertia force field?
Huh?
Null inertia force field?
Did you do a little Wikipedia
It might be
search?
something that Wally had to figure out in order to
Interesting.
defeat Savitar in the comics.
Make a
Oh, look at that.
a wink. Thank you. I actually did some research that week too, so I know what you're talking about. All right, Stan. All right. Well, then what about Arrow? I feel
All
like
right,
it's got
look,
some action.
Arrow's done.
It's got
Look,
some.
Look. Arrow doesn't have superpowers. All right, but you know how they get past that? With socio-political commentary.
Yay!
No, but no, they
action.
get by that because the fights are actually them and not CGI. Which is what we saw in Supergirl, which is what we saw in Legends, which is what we saw in Flash. These are real people doing the real fights. There is an awesome shot. I'm sorry to interrupt. There's an awesome shot of Dolph Lundgren and Stephen Amell, and they do this wide shot. They do a tracking shot with it, and it's a silhouette, and it's Dolph Lundgren just punching the crap out of Stephen Amell.
Right.
It's Dolph Lundgren doing that. That's like an amazing fact. There's an awesome shot of Arrow flying down from the building, kicking Vigilante right in the face, and then all
He curves the corner.
yeah, hey,
Physics, it does not make sense.
he hit that bullseye, damn it. It doesn't make any sense. But then at the very end, there's a really cool, like, Arrow always builds to this fist fight. It's always about the fist fight. But the awesome thing about the fist fight is that they're not cutting away to CGI shots. These are two dudes beating the crap out of each other. And then they did this really cool, there's a really cool leap over the bank counter where, like, the glass gets broken by Vigilante. And then, like, he shoots the bolo arrow in him. Again, like, Arrow can never compete with superpower. They cannot compete with Savitar. Cannot compete with punching a big purple guy, and it can't compete with like barely stopping a train. But these are real people, and there's no CGI in these shots. So to me, an Arrow, I feel those fights more than when they cut to CGI Flash.
There's no CGI in that shot.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a chat.
No, but he's totally
Okay, maybe
right.
try.
I definitely do watch to see when they cut away from people and when the wig kind of gets shaky or whatever. But Stephen Amell is pretty constantly doing his own stuff.
Mostly,
You know which
yeah.
one he definitely does? Go back and watch it. Real impressive. He jumps on the counter.
He did.
Did you see that? I'm here. And there was like a little doorway. He could have walked right through. Like, I'm here.
No.
Yeah.
He has to be above. to look down.
Well, he immediately jumped right down.
I love
Yeah.
it because he almost didn't make it. He
Well,
almost.
you saw that he backed up kind of way. They also had a moment where with Mr. Terrific where he's about to get lightly tapped with the gun and he falls to
That's
his
what
knees.
I want to talk about.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I love Echo Kellum. I know that they did a lot of takes of that scene because
Yeah.
you saw him go like, hey, "Don't listen to him," and he goes like, eh, and he like holds to get hit by the gun.
Yeah, and then he gets lightly tapped. He's like, whoa!
I'm 2 feet taller than you.
There's so many missed punches in this episode. Like, okay.
I mean, if we want to get to the smoke monster fight, we can do that.
Don't worry, we will.
Oh, action
Yeah.
from Legends. We got magical pistols from the Old West. Fucking rad.
Now, let me tell you, I'm curious, when I was watching that episode, do you think do you think there's some similarity? Like, is Rip's gun using Dwarf Star Matter too? Because his gun shoots very similar to Turnbull's. Yeah, but Turnbull's, it's like seems like it wasn't processed enough, but like it was still a pistol that shoots blue, just like Turnbull's gun.
And kind of like Adam's. Adam's little thingies.
And both of them, like their bullets are very similar to like the first Vigilante, like the Western Vigilante from the comics. Like his bullets.
It would be really cool to bring Vigilante on to
Vigilante.
Legends. If you like, there's a couple Vigilantes over.
There's
in DC.
multiple Vigilantes.
Yeah. But we got that. We got a bar fight between Mick and Turnbull, but also they're friends because you realize, oh yeah, Mick's and
Mick fought everybody in that bar.
And it was just, oh man, I love when Rick has time to play in these episodes because he had an awesome fight scene with Mari in the cavern, and we got a new Vixen avatar.
Yeah,
it's not
finally.
the gorilla anymore.
Amaya.
Oh, who was it? Sorry,
It was a rhino.
Oh, it was a
It
rhino.
was a rhino. It still punches like a gorilla, but it was a rhino.
No, she ran
all
through
she could do
him.
was
But then she kind of did that.
Yeah, I like a rhino's punch.
Do you think
if
they'll
guys
ever let her
didn't know.
fly?
You
think they'll ever let her fly?
Yes, they have to.
Come on.
they had her be a bird last
a bird, and she used it for night vision.
Yeah, but she didn't fly.
She can fly. She can fly when she does bird.
There's just been too many indoor fights. That's the only reason she
Right,
hasn't.
okay,
She'll
all right,
fly.
Okay.
She just needs to pick a bigger bird.
Yeah. Okay. When Adam gets his suit back,
A cockatoo?
fires.
I hope it's just her arms going really fast.
And she's just panting.
Just
she's like,
hummingbird.
what's the
Hummingbird
point?
style, please.
Yeah, and that's the best action you're gonna get from any of these shows. Personally, we have Vixen flying, but also we had Steel being a hero from some kind of speech he got from Ray, who said something that you could find on one of those motivational posters of Oceans.
You could buy at Target.
You could
Ignore the fear and you'll be fine.
There you go. And courage. That's the end of that.
Drink your courage.
There you go.
Just like the lion.
Yeah, and Gatorade. And then we had an awesome moment where.
Was that awesome? It was that awesome.
was
It
wonderful.
so awesome.
Steel stopped the train.
Oh!
There it is.
And he betrayed physics.
He did. That's not how it works at all. And also, we got a kind of fun moment that kind of mirrored Luke Cage, where he took a bullet from Mick.
Yeah.
And his
was
magic
really
bullet,
similar to
magic
Luke
bullet
Cage.
went straight through him.
I actually did like that moment. I did.
It was.
Did you guys saw it coming too, right? I was like,
Yeah.
this isn't gonna work out.
You can't block that. It's
Yeah.
magic.
Oh, it's too heavy.
I mean, even if you wear the Man of Steel, it's just steel, and it's not that thick.
I mean, so you stuffed a pink monster. You kind of you had fought a shadow. You fought just a bad version of yourself.
Fought the
But
god
I
of
fought
speed.
a train.
We fought a god.
I fought a train.
Yeah, but
I fought a train.
the comic book trope of the dark version of yourself.
I fought a
The
train.
purple people eater.
People aren't
Grimace.
getting this.
You
Grimace.
fought the
Guys,
DA.
guys, I fought a train in my episode.
All right.
All right, we're getting to. Let me do a quick update.
Quick update
But
to
we're
that
about
whole
to get
Flash.
to the fun part where we get to tear apart each other's shows. All right, we're gonna tear apart each
Okay.
other's shows. But here's an update. Let's see. Fucking hell. Okay,
Oh.
Supergirl Arrow.
Whoa!
Supergirl
Close,
and Arrow,
real
neck
close,
and neck.
yeah, same.
Woo boy.
Oh, man.
You
You guys
boy.
really
Skipping
love
Easter?
that arrow.
Huh? We're skipping those, yeah.
Okay,
You can
real-
mention 'em if you
real
like,
quick,
but yeah.
Sam said we're skipping Easter eggs, but I just gotta say that there were just a couple in Supergirl, and so
Hit
just
us.
give it the bonus points. No, it's cool. We're skipping it. So just assume that like they're the best ones ever. I will
Big
give
words
you really
there.
quick.
Give those points to
and
Legends.
Supergirl.
Give him the Supergirl.
The only,
I guess.
the only one that I will say that was kind of interesting is, do you guys know Thorul? Thorul?
No.
Okay, it's come up in the comics. There is it could be a spoiler. It was on the wall in the opening sequence, the thing parallel. I'll say that's an anagram, and it's been used as an anagram in the comics, and you can figure out maybe some people are involved there. And a little homework for you to do. It's real easy.
What was
though.
it?
It's
It was
real easy. Thorul.
What is it?
I can't imagine.
What could it be?
I can't imagine.
Rothul. Oh my god!
All right, rebuttals. Take on the Flash.
Ooh, Flash. Okay, let's talk about the fight with Shade.
It was awesome.
Dig in there.
Yeah,
Perfect.
dig in deep.
Well, see, my question is,
Because that wasn't deep.
I was gonna say, no.
Rip it apart.
My question was, what fight with Shade?
Yes!
Yes!
What a
Big middle
way
finger.
Oh,
to
the
get
one
that.
with the car lights.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
I forgot
what?
that's how they
Can
beat
I,
him.
can, I, can, I,
In the
can, I also,
dark?
can I also give you some bonus points as well to help your
Sure,
argument
let's
here?
tear 'em apart.
The Shade is one of DC Comics' best villains.
What?
And we turn him into a smoke monster.
Wasted.
He is really cool.
He was on Justice League Unlimited. He is in a great run of DC Comics of Starman.
The dude with the top hat?
He's the gentleman. He
Makes it.
He's in the top 20 of DC's villains, and he becomes Smoke Monster.
I forgot about top hat.
Smoke
shade.
Monster.
That's the same shade.
He
He even has like a dark dimension in the comics where you can send the Flash.
Yes,
there.
he's a smart, calculating villain, and they made him Monster
Don't worry,
Smoke.
guys. Barry's gonna run back in time at the end of the
Oh,
season
yeah,
and
sorry.
fuck everything up. And then we'll get a whole
Sorry.
different
Sorry,
shade.
we'll get Earth 19 shade. And he'll come.
That's the better.
He wears a hat. No, Shade is terrible. But aside from Shade, guys, like they're trying really hard with the Wally storyline, and I respect it because it's freaking Wally. You got to give him his storyline. It's just they like underwrote it or something, so that we shouldn't be talking about Wally West like we talk about Iris, where it's like, they're doing a decent job. And it's like, no, he should be freaking amazing. And I feel a little let down where he's just coming off whiny. And it's like, I don't want him to feel like whiny and teen angst, so I just don't feel like they're nailing that, and that's really frustrating me.
I will counterpoint you a little bit, and this is for everybody's show. CW shows do that to a lot of like long-term DC characters where they don't quite act like you want them to act. Like you could say that about Ray Palmer.
Yeah.
You could say that about Mr. Terrific.
No, and I think though a good counter example is what
just
they've
devil's
done
advocate.
but what they've done with Nate. I think Nate, it was a much more interesting little origin arc that he had, where he was like, yeah, I was a hemophiliac, like I'm the weakest of the weak, and I see history and I know it really well, and he's motivated, like I wish I could have done something, and his grandfather was a hero, and Wally's just just
You guys are selling Legends
Yeah,
really
you're giving
well.
it
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
points.
not
Nice.
this week though. That was from a different week.
Damn it.
But it's not only that, and then also I love Cisco, but Cisco was very frustrating this episode, outing Caitlyn the way he did, and then being extra mad at her for him having outed her. It just felt like a CW drama moment where it's like, and now we're not friends for a little bit. I was like, oh, Cisco, act logically, dude.
All right, you tore him apart.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, you got some pent-up rage.
I got
Take
a
out
lot
Arrow.
to say.
I think you came into this week automatically being like, I'm hating Arrow no matter what.
Well,
He was supposed to talk about
I was
Supergirl.
really excited because Arrow has improved the most out of any of these
Definitely.
shows
Yes,
season to
absolutely.
season,
100%.
and it's been on a roll with great episode after great episode after great episode, and then this week's episode just came off goofy and weird. Please tell me, what was that flashback about?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, last week we got like 30 seconds of Dolph Lundgren, and he came off really intimidating and really cool.
Talking about turnips.
And he's just like having lunches and like playfully like basically smacking Ty
right.
on his mother on the ass.
I can sell this flashback to you. You ready? All right,
What
here
is
you-
it? What
okay.
was he explaining? Because
All
I
right.
feel like I missed it.
Do you remember Oliver in season 1 of Arrow?
Yes.
Remember how it took him like 12 episodes to even like tell Diggle, to even trust Diggle with anything, even Felicity. This is setting up the Oliver that comes back to Star City and trusts no one. This whole scene was about, okay, he came to Russia and he's like, I'm gonna kill Kovar because Kovar's an evil guy. And Kovar's like, look, I helped this mother out. Like, look, I'm treating you with nice manners. Oh, and by the way, the Bratva that you have like sacrificed everything for, they're just as bad as me.
Look,
so am
he's
I
supposed
really
to be-
the bad guy?
But he's supposed to be Mr. Intimidating, and instead he's second tier to David Munier from freaking Justified.
slow down.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
Any Justified
You could've
actor
said
that shows
David
an Arrow,
Minier.
that's like 5% up on the
Look,
polls.
I love
There. You're
Justified,
making my
but
point.
he's supposed to be like scary, and he's not. He throws a couple of good punches. We see a lot of missed punches this episode. Vigilante, there's that moment where he's interrogating the woman in the interrogation room, and
best
he's like
moment ever.
doing his best,
Well,
his
hey,
best
I will say
Christian
this.
Bale.
I do think it's interesting.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
do the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I'll tell you everything.
I'll tell you everything. And Oliver's like, how did you do that? It might as well have been a
Here's my trick. It's
I will
empty.
give you that. That
It's an
scene.
empty
That
map.
scene was terrible. That scene was terrible. But also, Devil's Advocate. Like, I think it's interesting. They did not confirm that Vigilante was Adrian Chase, even though Adrian Chase is the Vigilante in the comic books, which I thought was interesting. They didn't flat out be like,
frustrating.
it's him.
But it's like, it's all but
Yeah.
him.
Also-
We also have
Watch it be Wild Dog.
bulletproof blanket arrow.
Yeah.
Trick arrows, baby.
Bulletproof blanket arrow.
Listen,
He can do a
listen-
parachute, but he can't do a bulletproof blanket.
Yes.
A bulletproof blanket arrow is better than car lights.
Yay!
Kill the shade.
Yeah,
wait, we can turn on a flashlight and
They
it'll
hacked
defeat him?
every car in the city.
If your villain can
to do that.
If your villain can be defeated by nighttime car
They
driving.
sexualized a 16-year-old.
Who did?
Arrow.
No, they
This
didn't.
week stuck a 16-year-old
Oh, yeah, they did.
in a tiny red dress and made
But
her a
she's
sex
evil.
object.
Is she 16?
Yeah.
She's under 18, I think.
Oh, she is under
The
18.
character,
Okay.
the character is 16.
No,
Okay,
she's
okay.
like 23 or something.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
character
yeah.
is 16, which is really weird.
But that's why, because they caught the creep.
They also, I may be reading a little too far into this. Thea and Quentin had some weird romantic tension.
There was
this
a
week.
second of it that was a little weird. Also, you should have walked him into the rehab.
Yeah. There's a little bit weird there. You can do some googling behind that. Like we won't talk.
Oliver's not behaving
Google
at the
it,
top
quick.
of
You can go Google that.
Oliver's not behaving at the top of his intelligence. This the reporter lady basically was like, I'm having a Twitter war with this journalist in Russia. Russia, maybe you should think about that, Oliver, instead of just trying to get your dick wet.
Also, real quick, how about they don't make that lady say the cliche line twice?
Yeah.
I think that's called being good at my job. I think that's called being. You already used the stupid
I think
cliche.
that's called
And
a
then
cut.
We have seen on the
I
show
just
before.
wanna-
Oliver Queen is a
it's called
playboy,
that.
and he slept with Ravager in season 2. Oliver does not think straight. I mean, there's
Ravager?
He slept
Yeah.
with Ravager in season 2.
Lady that's
buddy.
right.
The lady from Serenity.
Yeah.
Like he does not think straight when he's like trying to get on the ladies. That explains all of season 4 when he was trying to get pussy.
Yay!
I counter really quick too. I think it's worth just underlining the Bratva moment is actually a huge moment that
Yes.
ruins everything. We remember how like giddy we were, like, oh, and he snapped that guy's neck and it was so cool, and it's like, yeah, that wasn't a bad guy. Oh,
No,
Yeah.
no, at the end you're like, I have no idea where I'm standing.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, because again, it's the whole thing of where it's like maybe Kovar is an ally now and not the villain. Maybe the Bratva is actually the villain.
first time.
Or maybe everyone needs to die.
Yeah, but the first time a flashback twist has worked on me, I'll say.
Look, I'll just say this, like, I know that I'm an island here. I'm very much alone.
For how long? 5 years?
Yeah.
5 years in hell. Is that
Exactly.
actually in Russia?
For 5 years in hell, I'll be the only person who dislikes this episode. But the flashback did not work for me this week. I'll just straight up say it, and I could play that clip of Curtis getting knocked out with the non-tap, with the light sound effect. You could have sold that with a sound effect so easily. Just
Sorry, you have the best moment. Sorry, one more time. Tell me where they are.
can I do it?
It's a collapsible mask.
Yeah. Tell me.
I will say
This is your head.
I will devil's advocate
Oh,
for that.
and the
Like
knockoff
there is a
Dark
silly
Knight
moment like
heist
that
music.
in everybody's episode.
Yeah.
In everybody's
No,
episode.
nothing that
Yes.
silly.
Yeah.
And this is the show that's not supposed to be silly. And also, they have the rip-off Dark Knight heist music in the.
I will
both
say-
of the
Well, they
were
heists
making
this
a Dark
episode.
Knight
I
reference,
do
I think.
like
Yeah.
the masks. I will
It's
say,
like Dark Knight.
but Matt had a lot of feelings about Arrow. Jason, how you feeling about Legends of Tomorrow? Go ahead and dig in.
All right.
Gloves off.
Yeah, you guys back them up. Here we go. I can take it.
All right.
The show can't.
Let's go for Legends Tomorrow here. Basically, where the whole episode was just to be like, oh, there's a woman in charge of the team. We don't like that because we're the Old West.
Don't make your mouth move that far.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Jonah Hex, for me, last season created the best season of the best episode of Legends Tomorrow last season. It was strong. Get out of here. Go turn on some car lights. Go turn on some car lights and destroy yourself.
Or literally any light. Any light.
But they bring him into this episode, and Jonah Hex like does nothing in this episode. Like, what is the point of Jonah Hex being in this episode if he's even supposed to be there?
Yeah.
And then we have the Three Stooges, the tax collectors, like kind of just treating the Old West.
That's just crying. Take it easy. Don't go too hard.
Oh yeah.
He's a big fan of Legends.
But why didn't you fight for Legends then?
Do you just want to say all the lights have been turned off? And my dad is a tax collector.
God.
Hey, I love Megatron too.
Thanks, bud.
It's okay. It's all right. But I don't know, like I can't explain why Jonah Hex was even in this episode.
No.
Like, why bring him into this episode?
No,
if he was not gonna
rebuttal.
do anything?
Why was he?
Why was he in this episode?
Where's the fun thing? Bunch of things, quick.
Here we go.
Wrap him up.
Sorry.
Oh, we're so sorry. Oh, God. You're right, Sam. You're right.
Yeah.
Everybody quiet down.
Also, let's go. We're going off goofy moments. Let's go off the goofy moments of Nate blocking all the bullets, and then at the last second turning off his steel to catch the last bullet in his mouth, not realizing that bullets are hot when they're shot. He would be burnt.
Also, did he count everyone's bullets? He should have been like, and then a bullet blows his fucking brains out. Right there. Why do I ever undo my steel?
What? He's like, like he just gets a
could really use an explanation of the steel powers. Does he have to hold his breath to be
Yeah,
his
they
steel?
don't
Why does he
understand
ever
that,
turn
right?
it on?
He does kind of do a...
Also, like, the climactic moment of the train, breaking the laws of physics.
Also ruining that trek for anything.
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
So,
how
by the
does
way,
that not ruin the future?
Exactly. They said that they were like they didn't want to
fix
ruin
it.
the past.
Yeah.
Well, ruining the train track for 5 miles ruins the pass.
Isn't that the same as blowing the the thing down?
It's exactly the same as blowing the thing, you know. And it's just like Superman can stop the train because he's stronger than the train. Nate's powers don't give him super strength.
Well, he's
correct?
like a break.
He's
That's all
a
it
little
was.
stronger than he used to be.
Okay, but he still, I think the train still would have just pushed him for miles, and then he would have gone under the train.
Well, no, okay.
And then it wouldn't be like stopped it.
He's way stronger than he used to be. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to move. He would carry his own
Fair point.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like this episode, like Quentin Turnbull is a classic Jonah Hex villain, and this should have been like a great, like, wow, this is cool. We're gonna see Jonah Hex storyline, but Jonah Hex was just kind of there to be like, I guess I'll just sit outside to watch Mick have drinks with my mortal enemy.
And then he
What are you saying, woman?
reckless.
Yeah.
Should women have the right to vote?
I don't know if you. I don't know if I should listen to you, woman. I'm just gonna go in anyway. All right.
Oh, never mind. Women are okay.
Yeah.
And sociopolitical.
Yeah, sociopolitical. Yeah, like actually to me, the strongest storyline in Legends was the storyline that they ignored the most. The fact that Mick is getting a little suicidal now because he's missing his Captain Cold friend.
Yeah, I do like that. Hey, you know what? You can pull back the voice a little bit, though.
Yeah.
I love Mick, but it's a good.
How
You're not even
great
wearing
was
a
it where he
mask.
was like, what's the point?
I gotta sound like a chainsaw.
He's like, is it a metaphor? He's like, yeah, I know what a metaphor is. Don't tell them. He's like, I'm not an idiot, all right?
Austin Christensen, in regards to the bullet in the teeth, says, A, they cool off super quickly, and teeth aren't very susceptible to burning.
The
How about
bullet
your
is
tongue?
touching his lips. When he talks with the bullet in his mouth. He goes, what about this? The lips touch the bullet. I'm sorry.
How quickly have you touched a bullet as soon as it left the gun? Because that went boom, boom, and then he just spit it out with his tongue.
And then it touched his shirt.
Yeah.
You would feel it through the shirt.
Yeah.
Take it from somebody who has experienced live bullets.
Hey!
Boom.
Got ya.
Wait.
Oh, God, no! I'll tell you everything!
This is you. Your head shouldn't go that way.
All right, so it sounded like Legends is pretty solid. This not too many. Legends is rough. All right.
Well, I'll tell you this. What was the plot of this episode of Legends?
We learned that women can lead too.
Rip it up!
Oh wait, okay. So you guys tore apart Legends pretty well, but what about Supergirl?
What about
Oh, yes.
Rip it up!
You had a classic DC character, Parasite. He's just one note, and they blew him up at the end. I hate that they do that on these shows.
did blow him up.
Yeah, you can't use them ever again.
Yeah, back me up with
He'll
grunts
be
and
back.
stuff.
He'll be back. Rip him up. Just like in the thing, you think he's gone and he's not.
But maybe he is, and I would hate that if that were to be true. Also, Guardian's pointless. James Olsen should have left this season.
Yeah.
First episode.
And let's talk about his Batman voice. That sounds like Oscar the Grouch.
Unnecessary, I agree. His mouth is fine.
Also, having that much lead near your body's pretty poisonous.
He would have cancer.
Hey, you know who it's really bad for? Monel.
It is.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm sorry. That just blew apart Supergirl
Let's
right
hope
there.
they don't shake hands.
Lead is poisonous to Daxamites. He spent an entire fight sequence next to a guy dressed in lead.
But it's not
touch.
a lead suit, it's lead lined.
Still would work.
Hey, really
Wouldn't
quick,
a kryptonite
though.
lined suit also? I mean, Supergirl doesn't get sick really near Alex when she wore that suit.
You know, maybe it's just a Daxamite is more resilient than you think, as opposed to a Flash villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and then
That's all I got for
Yeah,
Supergirl.
Well,
It was a really solid episode.
Well, let's talk about also Wynn becoming another Felicity. Like, Wynn works at the DEO. He has a purpose. Why is he just becoming a low rent in a food truck van Felicity?
Yeah.
Like Cisco.
He's a big fan of National
He
Treasure.
can do that
and really
in the
wants to
DEO.
be Justin
He
Barkley.
can do that in the DEO. He doesn't need
But he's
two
going
super
out.
jobs.
He's going rogue.
He's going rogue.
And we saw Supergirl. We saw Supergirl drunk. She's a role model.
Oh, that's a reference to Superman 3.
Rip him up.
Oh yeah, got him. Guys, I can't be any more ruthless. I don't think anybody can take it.
I
Here on the
can't
table.
take it.
Oh, you can pull it back on the voice mix.
Yeah.
You can pull it back on the voice, Vigilante. You can pull
find
it
out.
back on the voice, Guardian.
Arrow.
You'll find out someday,
Back on the
Supergirl.
voice, Ragman. Still can't hear what he's saying.
I'll give you that. I hate that Ragman voice.
But I love
all
Ragman.
the voices except for Arrow. Like, why don't they just do the voice modulation like
fixed
Arrow?
Arrow's.
Yeah, Arrow's
They
voice
Well,
modulation
they
works.
try to, but
everybody else's voice modulation is just terrible.
I can't wait to see Overwatch in the field.
Oliver.
Felicity, don't use that voice.
Yeah.
Lay back
All
on the
right,
voice,
guys.
Felicity.
We were pretty ruthless here on Superhero Smackdown. Let's see where we're at. And oh shit, Arrow! Very close. Okay, Arrow's pulling ahead now. We got Supergirl, Flash, Legends. We're gonna give it a little bit more time. We're now through our shows, guys. Let us know what you thought about the shows. Using the hashtag #SuperSmack. I'm gonna be reading some tweets really quick and in the comments. But I wanted to talk about how excited are you guys for the crossover event that's happening in 2 weeks across all 4 of these shows. Let us know what you're thinking. What are you guys excited for?
I'm really excited if they do something surprising with the aliens. If the aliens are actually able to do something like replicate the major villains of those different shows or something. Because we've seen these little glimpses of the old villains. So it's like, oh, are they shape-shifting aliens maybe? And they can take on the powers of other people. Also, just a quick reminder, Supergirl, best episode of the week. It had everything. What didn't it have? But just saying that real quick. And she's actually, aside from the poll, she is my favorite, most exciting part of the crossover. Because it's like, yeah, I would love to see Supergirl interact with, I want to see how she does with Oliver. I want to see how she does with Diggle. I think it's going to be great.
I want to see them on the Wave Rider. I'm very excited to see. Because
yeah.
also, the weirdly, like, Flash is like, everyone's just hanging out somewhere. I don't know. They went on a trip. And I'm like, wait,
my
why don't
friends
you
went on a
know
trip.
where
Yeah.
they are?
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I'm curious to see how does it affect these shows and the collective universe at the end of it.
What
Yeah,
I would love,
minimally.
at the very end,
Most likely minimally to nothing.
I would like at the very end, they're like, wait, where's the Hawks at? Are they here? Can we bring
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
they just
Cisco's
blew
gonna be
up.
like, hey, where's my ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
They ain't coming back.
We really set them up big time last year. Are they here? And they're like, no, they're flying
Birds
around.
just don't work on Legends tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, let's
dead.
hope they're dead. They're fried turkey.
Yeah.
How about
They
Rip
went on a
Hunter?
trip.
Is he here?
Likely dead.
I miss Rip Hunter on
And
that
it's
show.
like,
I really do.
Hey, Diggle,
yeah.
you used to have a daughter. Oh, I forgot to mention that fucking storyline. I'm
What
sorry.
story?
Well, it's just like if what's his wife's name? I'm so sorry.
Lila.
If Lila wanted him to be there for the 2-year-old birthday, she would have known that he would have wanted to be there. She would have done that on the
On her own.
birthday.
Oh, Wild Dog is a better wife to Diggle.
To Diggle than his wife is.
It's called setting up dramatic tension so we can see the cute baby at the end.
All right.
The sweaty,
It's called We Need to
bulging
See
muscle man holding
how
that
much he's
small
been working
child.
out
Yes.
all year.
All
He
year
long.
ballooned.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, he could do well in a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about
2
that.
out of 4 shows this week had someone punching a heavy bag. I want to see that up to 3 shows.
Ooh,
But
I want
only
all
one
4.
show had a man stopping a train.
That's
Make sure
true.
flood in those 1,000 votes real quick.
Look, I want to say that. I want to also say like as well. Like only one of these shows stayed true to the comic book roots of the character that they brought in this week. Their guest character.
Supergirl.
No, not even close.
I believe that
I think it
is
was Arrow. I
Legends.
think it was Arrow.
I believe Legends. We had Jonah Hex.
Hey, did you guys know that Rory is deep and he tells quotes from Moby Dick?
Who did?
Just that real forced quote at the
Oh,
beginning.
mine?
Oh,
yeah,
Ragman.
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 Yeah, he
Oh,
just has like
Ragman.
an unnecessary Moby Dick quote, and they even like discuss it. Like, what are you doing right now? And he has a Moby Dick quote. He's like, this isn't the show for that.
Such a weirdo.
He is so weird. I love Ragman, but as soon as he gets out of costume, I'm like, Rory, get back in
He's
the
such
rags.
a
Yeah,
Get
get back in the
Get
rag.
back in the
Look,
rag.
he's
Even
got to
his-
deal with family problems. His family was incinerated before
He
his
doesn't
eyes.
care that much
And a
anymore.
burlap sack is what kept him alive.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why his magic rags are bulletproof.
I mean, if they block the nuke, they can block bullets.
Have you ever shot a rag?
I mean, here's the thing that I would love to talk about
I like
because
the belts.
this is like an overall, and I'm very curious about your theory of this. Is that I kind of feel that Dr. Alchemy is was a waste of time now if Savitar's the real villain of the season. Why did we even bother spinning 6 episodes with this guy?
Yeah, what is Savitar doing if we have Dr.
Is he
Alchemy?
gonna be a minion?
Yeah, like I was a little like, well, why did we care about what Dr. Alchemy was doing for the last 6 episodes?
I think that he is a tool. He's like an acolyte of the God of Speed who is taking revenge on Barry for fucking with the timeline too much. Like, he's basically, more than any other speedster in history, as far as we know, has messed with the timeline more and has been more reckless with time.
He can
than
also
anybody.
be we still don't know what's under the mask.
Right.
So that could be.
They
And now we have
teasing-
twice as much.
Right.
Yeah.
They keep
Savitar,
teasing
that's
that
so
Savitar. It's like just
no.
skeleton and worms.
Oh no! The teasing out of who was Zoom last season was like the worst part of
It was terrible.
season.
I like that we don't care who Alchemy. I mean, for me, I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Personally,
I don't either.
Like,
Personally.
like if we find like a really cool reveal out of it, awesome. Savitar, I think once we get there, it's really not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter.
Well,
even
because
slightly.
hopefully, I'm hoping that Savitar is just the concept or the
Yeah.
or the
Right,
literal
right.
personification of the Speed Force.
In the comic, Savitar, I don't know if you guys know, but he is someone who was bestowed like Speed Force powers, and he thinks it's from a god. He thinks he has been given something from God or something like that. So he takes it upon himself to be like a disciple or a prophet. So he thinks that highly of himself. It would be cool to have a man from the past to kind of bring it around. I don't know. It'd be cool if he had been around for many, many years. That'd be a really fun story.
Well, I mean, this is my hope with Savitar is that I hope Savitar now like opens up the whole Speed Force idea and that we get some Max Mercury in the show.
We need him because they have like the fucking awesome rivalry, and that's why he pops up in the future. It's so cool. Max Mercury is so much fun. You guys, I made a whole video on all of DC's speedsters, and I missed 3, and I feel I did all of them.
Who'd
and
you miss?
I forgot that Mossy Meadows was added to DC Comics. I was just like, I thought that was just a Teen
yeah.
Titans thing, and then it was right when Convergence came out, and I forgot Fastback the Turtle, and I was like, damn it! And like, but now they have
Look,
God.
there's so many.
Turn in your nerd card.
I'm so,
Yep, turn it
guys,
in.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so
You
sorry.
only it, and I'm gonna destroy
I knew it! A secret object is flattered.
All right, guys. I'm excited for the 4-part crossover. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to end this entire year out with some pretty solid superhero shows, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. included. Let's go ahead and check out who
I'm
won
excited
this
for the
week.
musical crossover.
Nobody.
Is that next year?
I think that's next
year.
year.
Yeah, next year.
Guys, don't be upset with the winners. I'm feeling like Legends really pulled ahead in these last 3 minutes.
Like
So
the
last
terrible
seconds.
train that it tried to stop.
Here we go, and we're going to update. 1,000 votes coming straight in.
straight in.
Supergirl!
Well done.
Congratulations!
But they were just being logical, right?
Yeah, with the win. With the win.
He says Julian's girlfriend is Patty Spivot.
It is?
That would be great.
That'd be a really cool
That'd be
turn.
really great.
I miss her.
Yeah.
I miss her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Oh, keep talking. I'm going to get into your
In this universe, they
Guys,
never dated.
They never dated at all.
Sam is just crying now.
Yep. Sam wanted
no,
that
Sam.
train
Somehow
to
Legends
pull ahead.
never wins.
Legends not one.
Legends has not
Oh,
won.
Legends has had some winner
Legends
episodes.
I was defending it 2 weeks ago or something. I remember people like tweeted at me. They're like, to be honest, I couldn't vote for it, but it had the best episode of the week.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you vote for it if it had the best
Yeah.
episode?
No, guys, it's allowed. You can vote for many shows on here, just so
can
you know.
vote for
Yes.
multiples.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys.
You
For
can vote for all 4 if you want.
Smallville can be a vote in this. Just throw it out there.
go ahead, write
Also
it in.
write in
Right in
tweets.
Smallville.
Just a write-in.
All right.
Oh, God.
For the winner.
It's
Nerf
It's
basketball.
sports. Look at that.
Budget.
And guys,
No.
the losers get eggs.
What?
You get eggs.
Oh.
All right.
You have to care for this egg for the next 24 hours.
I'm gonna
no
come
egg
back
babies?
to. We have egg babies now.
Oh, no!
I'm gonna interrogate.
Teach me how you did that. Got you guys.
Oh, squishy.
I'm gonna just be honest. No one gave suggestions about eggs. If anyone wants to make anything later, I'd love to have an omelet. So yeah,
I'm down.
if you want to make some omelets
Yeah,
later,
you wanna make some omelets?
So who's the real winner here?
Do I
That's
get
right.
to eat some of the omelet?
Yes.
No, eat your Nerf ball.
Oh,
Eat your Nerf ball.
that's not the first time I've heard
Suck that down like Rudy made us suck down climate change. Come
Hey!
on. Whoa. Even though I think it's real.
Yikes.
Guys, this was a really fun episode of Superhero Smackdown. Jason, so thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun.
One more time, guys, go check out the link in the description and donate for Comics for Soldiers.
Yes.
One little push. What got? A little plug.
Really quick, guys, like, let's help the real heroes. You like watching all the fake heroes. Let's help the real heroes. And this year, too, we're doing a special thing. You can write in personalized notes to the soldiers thanking them. And also,
That's cool.
all the comics aren't going just to overseas, to the troops that are overseas. A lot of them are going to go to the military bases around the United States to their families for Christmas. So some kids are going to open up some baskets. Some baskets. Well, maybe baskets. But they're going to open up boxes of comic books, and that's cool. Help out with that.
That's really cool.
very
Guys,
cool.
make
Stuff
sure
the
you check out
ceremonial
Comic
Christmas
soldiers.
basket.
Yes, the ceremonial Christmas baskets.
Guys,
So much
full of eggs.
assembly.
Thank you so much. Make sure you like this video, comment down below, share, and
That's the
subscribe.
fun part.
Go ahead and follow Jason on Twitter.
The Twitters.
At Jawin.
At Jawin. J-W-I-I-N.
DCLX is Jawin on YouTube. Check it out. Matt Lieberman, he's right over here at Matt Lieberman.
whoa.
Ooh, check out Nuclear Family. Then you've got Phil Molina over here at Femo. Go ahead and
Hello.
follow him.
Oh, no.
And all the other stuff. And I'm Sam.
It's a wormhole.
I'm right here. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And we're singing a song as we out.
Dare to defy.
Thank you.